"Look under the car!" a homeless black girl shouted, the millionaire frozen at what he saw. A millionaire steps into his car, unaware a deadly bomb waits beneath it, planted by enemies, furious at his fight against child trafficking. No one notices the danger except a homeless little girl who refuses to stay silent. Her scream stops everything, and what happens next changes all their lives forever. Before we dive in, let us know in the comments, what time is it and where are you watching from? Let's start. Harrison Cole stepped out of the black sedan with the firm, controlled movements of a man who had spent his entire life refusing to show fear. Even alone in a parking lot, he straightened his navy suit, adjusted his cuffs, and scanned his surroundings with the quiet caution of someone who understood power and understood the enemies that power created. His silver beard caught the sunlight. His posture never bent. People who walked past him sensed it instinctively. This wasn't a man you approached casually. This was someone who built things, commanded rooms, changed outcomes. Today should have been another routine morning, meetings, calls, paperwork. But ever since his foundation shut down a major trafficking route last month, tension hummed under his skin like a second heartbeat. Too many threats, too many anonymous notes, too many messages that said he had gone too far. He dismissed most of them. Criminals threatened everyone. They rarely acted. He refused to live paranoid. Still, as he approached his car, something felt different. The air carried a strange metallic scent that didn't belong. The silence between passing footsteps felt heavier. A subtle pressure sat at the back of his neck, prickling like invisible eyes watching him. Harrison stopped beside his door, frowning. He resisted the urge to turn around and check. He hated giving fear a voice. He opened the car door slowly, listening. Nothing. Just distant traffic and two people arguing near a scooter. He placed his briefcase on the passenger seat and exhaled. He was on edge. That irritated him more than anything. He slid one leg into the car. A small flicker of movement caught his eye. He straightened sharply, scanning the gaps between cars. A shadow shifted near the far row. He squinted but saw no one. Probably a stray cat. Probably nothing. He forced his shoulders to relax. He was tired, overworked, too many late nights monitoring the Foundation's investigations. His mind was playing tricks. He sat fully in the driver's seat and reached for the ignition. But that metallic scent drifted past him again, sharper now. He leaned out, brows narrowing. His instincts, honed through years of walking into dangerous negotiations, whispered, "Something is wrong." He crouched slightly to look under the car, but stopped. His phone buzzed, a text from his head of security reminding him of an urgent briefing this afternoon. Harrison sighed and straightened. "Later," he muttered. "I'll check later." He pushed the key forward. A tiny gasp came from behind him. He froze. Slow footsteps, bare, soft, hesitant, moving closer. He turned, expecting a beggar or someone asking for change. Instead, he saw a little black girl, thin, trembling, wearing a dirty white T-shirt 2 sizes too big. Her hair fell in messy tangles around her face. Her chest rose and fell in panicked bursts. She looked terrified, not of him, but of something she couldn't unsee. She lifted a shaking hand toward him, but no sound came out. Harrison's eyes narrowed. "Child, this is not the place." Her voice broke free in a scream so sharp the entire parking lot seemed to shake. "Look under the car! Sir, please, don't start it! You're going to die!" Every muscle in Harrison's body locked. He stared at her, really stared, and for the first time he saw it. Pure, unfiltered fear. Not the kind a child uses to beg for money. The kind that comes from witnessing something adults never believe. He stepped out slowly, his heartbeat pounding harder with each second. The girl backed away a step, but didn't run. She pointed again, sobbing now, her voice cracking. Please, please look. They put something there. They're watching. They're gonna kill you. Cold electricity shot through Harrison's spine. He dropped to his knees, ignoring the stab of pain, and leaned under the vehicle. There it was, a small rectangle strapped to the frame, wires neatly taped, a red light blinking steadily. Professionally built, unmistakably lethal. A cartel marker he recognized from briefing reports. A bomb designed not just to kill, but to send a message. We can reach you anywhere. His enemies had finally moved from threats to action. He pushed up fast, breath unsteady. The girl flinched, but Harrison reached out gently, gripping her shoulders. "You saw them?" he whispered. She nodded, tears streaming down her face. "I tried to tell people. Nobody listened. They told me to go away." A rush of shame and guilt hit him like a blow. He, a man who dedicated his life to saving children, might have ignored her too. He swallowed hard. "You saved my life." She shook her head fiercely. "No, not yet. They're still here." Harrison's blood chilled. He didn't have to ask who "they" meant. He felt them. He felt the eyes watching from somewhere in the parking lot. Slowly, he turned. Somewhere beyond the rows of cars, danger waited, quiet, calculating, ready to strike again. And Harrison understood one thing with absolute clarity. This little girl didn't just save him. She just pulled him into a war he thought he was controlling, but wasn't. Harrison's fingers tightened on the girl's small shoulders. Her heartbeat hammered beneath his palms. She kept glancing around, terrified the masked men were still watching. Her breath shook in short bursts, and every tiny flinch made Harrison's chest tighten. He forced his voice to stay calm, steady, controlled, because she needed an adult who wasn't panicking. "What's your name?" he asked softly. "Asha," she whispered. "Asha. You're safe with me. I swear it." He pulled his phone out with the other hand, dialing emergency services with a speed he'd never used before. His voice dropped into a tone he rarely used, one that sent an icy ripple through anyone who heard it. "This is Harrison Cole. I have an explosive device under my car. I need the bomb squad, tactical units, and detectives immediately. Suspects may be nearby." The operator nearly choked. "Sir, right away." He hung up and guided Asha behind him, shielding her with his body. Not hiding, not running, simply protecting. The weight of her trust settled heavily on him. A child had seen assassins plant a bomb, alone, and then stood long enough to warn him. Sirens rose in the distance faster than he expected. Police cars swung into the lot, tires screeching. Officers spilled out, weapons drawn, ordering civilians away. A tactical team rushed toward Harrison's car, securing the area, shouting commands he didn't need to understand. One officer approached him. "Mr. Cole, are you injured?" "No, but she is the one you need to speak to." He glanced at Asha gently. She saw everything. Asha swallowed hard, clutching her hands together as the officer kneeled to her eye level. "Sweetheart, did you see who put something under the car?" She nodded. "Two men, masks. They came early, when it was still dark. They whispered. They were angry. They said his name." She pointed at Harrison with a trembling hand. The officer's face changed instantly. This wasn't random. This was targeted. More police arrived, bomb technicians, detectives, supervisors. The bomb techs confirmed the device within minutes. Professionally assembled, cartel signature wiring, pressure triggered, a guaranteed fatality. But the bigger shock came when a detective jogged back toward them, breathless. We checked cameras. 2 suspects are still here. They ducked behind the warehouse across the lot. Asha's eyes widened in terror. Harrison immediately stepped in front of her again, instinctively protective. The officers moved fast. Units split, surrounding the warehouse. Commands were shouted. Within seconds, 2 men were dragged out at gunpoint, hands zip-tied, faces ripped of their masks, snarling curses at Harrison as police forced them to the ground. One of them spat at the pavement. "If you kept your nose out of our business, old man, you'd still be breathing tonight." Harrison didn't respond. His silence was colder than anger, sharper than fear. He simply placed a hand on Asha's back, guiding her away from their voices. For the first time, she leaned into him. The detective returned. "Mr. Cole, the girl's information saved your life. Without her, you'd have been killed before your engine warmed." Harrison looked down at Asha, this little girl with oversized bravery and underfed hope. "She deserves protection," he said, "right now." "We're calling child services," the detective began. Asha stiffened violently. "Please don't! Please, no! I don't want to go back." Harrison crouched, his voice soft but serious. "Why, Asha, what's wrong?" "The shelter guy. He hits us," she whispered. "He locks the door. Mama works nights and can't come. I sleep outside because it's safer." Harrison's jaw tightened. Rage rose, not loud, not explosive, but cold and focused. "Where is your mother?" "At work," Asha whispered. "Cleaning offices. She doesn't know I'm not in the shelter." "Call her," Harrison said to the detective. "Bring her here." A short while later, a worn-out woman in a faded uniform sprinted across the parking lot, tears already streaming when she saw Asha. She fell to her knees, pulling her daughter into her arms, sobbing apologies between breaths. "Asha, my baby, what happened? Why aren't you safe? Why didn't they tell me?" Harrison watched the reunion with a heaviness in his chest he didn't expect. The mother's hand shook as she cupped Asha's cheeks, terrified but relieved. Asha clung to her like she had been drowning for months. The detective stepped closer. "Mom, your daughter saved Mr. Cole's life and helped us arrest 2 men the city's been after for years." The mother blinked, overwhelmed. My daughter?" "Yes," Harrison said softly. "Your daughter is braver than most adults I've ever met." Asha's mother broke again, this time in disbelief. Then Harrison did something he rarely did. He knelt. "We have shelters that are safe, programs that protect children, not harm them. Your daughter will not return to that place." His voice deepened. "I will personally ensure it." The mother stared at him. "Why would you help us?" Harrison exhaled slowly. "Because today, your daughter reminded me what my foundation was built for. Not paperwork, not politics, children." He placed a gentle hand on Asha's shoulder. "And because she saved my life. That deserves more than thanks." The detective stepped in. "Mr. Cole, the mayor wants to speak with you. They're recommending the city officially recognize this girl." Asha blinked. "Recognize me?" Harrison smiled for the first time that day. "Yes, for bravery." And over the next hours, everything changed. Police protected Asha's family. Child Services opened an emergency investigation into the abusive shelter. News crews arrived. The mayor called Asha a hero. Donors begged to help, and Harrison, who once thought he controlled every battle he fought, realized something far greater. He had spent years saving children from danger, but today a child saved him from a danger he never even saw coming. By evening, Harrison offered Asha's mother a position at his foundation with proper pay, housing assistance, and full protection. Asha's eyes lit up when he promised she would have tutors, safety, and a future no one could take away again. She hugged him once more, small, shaken, grateful. "Thank you," she whispered. "No," Harrison said softly, voice cracking. "Thank you." Because one little girl had done what trained men, armored cars, and high security couldn't. She saw the danger first. She screamed loud enough, and she changed the course of his life forever. Would you have listened to a frightened child no one else believed? Stories like this remind us that courage often comes from the smallest voices. Tell us what you would have done in his place. Click like if this touched you, comment your thoughts, and subscribe for more powerful, life-changing stories every day.